Right, Grace, you're looking forward to your second FA Cup final in 3 years against Arsenal. How do you feel ahead of this one?
Yeah, excited. I think it's nice to have another opportunity to kind of face Arsenal. I think we played them in 2011. Obviously, first FA Cup final for pretty much most people in our team, and I think nerves probably got the better of us on that day, and the occasion probably beat us. Whereas this time we feel a lot more confident about it. A different squad to before, and I think going into it, given our last 3 years of how well we've done, I think we're feeling really, really good about it.
Yeah, you played in the last final, it was on Sky, and you played in games on ESPN, but will this be the first BBC game that you played in?
Yeah, it will be, yeah, and it's nice with the BBC because normally I put online our games on ESPN to watch it. I know a lot of my friends haven't got ESPN, whereas hopefully now being on terrestrial TV, it will get a different crowd in. People who wouldn't normally watch it might just accidentally flick onto it, and hopefully that will kind of gather a whole new audience.
Yeah, it's your third season of Super League football when you were playing Summer League.
Yeah.
Bristol obviously going well, you've got to 2 cup finals. What do you think's happened to the overall stands? Or do you think it's been a good idea to move it to Summer League?
Yeah, I think initially there's quite a bit of negative feeling around it when the first idea came out in 2011, but I think if you look at the league from then to now, I think it's a lot more of an equal playing field. We now can go into games against Arsenal and Birmingham and the top teams who have traditionally been really good, knowing that if we play well we can actually get a result, and I think that mentality has shifted so much from before the Super League, where Arsenal probably were the one team that won everything. So I think for those who play in it, and particularly those who watch it, they will agree that the standard of women's football has gone up, and I think it's only ever going to continue that way.
Yeah, Arsenal have got some well-known players, haven't they?
Yeah.
I mean, what's it like to play against them? People that play for England, and they're probably some of the best-known players, aren't they, in women's football?
Yeah, I remember when I first played against them, it was probably quite a surreal experience. I remember when I was 16, I went to watch England play in the Euros in 2005, and then literally 2 years later, maybe not even that, I was playing against them, and I think you get to a new level of respect that yes, they might have one day once been like your heroes or people you kind of want to emulate, but you kind of want to beat them and prove that you actually can do a job against them. I think that, for me, as a personal player, only gives me that motivation to want to do well.
Yeah.
Playing against England internationals, if you know you can compete against them, then you know you're doing all right, really. So for me, I use it as motivation to basically prove that I can compete and I can be that good.
Yeah, you've been playing a bit of centre back and a bit of full back. Can you just talk me through a bit about the team, really? Because we've got a few Welsh players, a few Spanish players.
Yeah, got quite a mix of. Obviously, being in Bristol, right next to the bridge, we kind of attract quite a lot of Welsh players, which I think has helped our team. We've got a few Welsh internationals, which have kind of brought a new dynamic to the team and a new aspect to it. Obviously, we've now got 2 Spanish players, which is interesting because one of them doesn't really speak English, so the other one translates for her. But I think as a team, we've bonded really well, and the different experience that each players bring from their national team, from their home country, has kind of just helped us as a team develop. It's a nice mix between old and young. We've got a very young team on paper, but the experience we've got, a massive wealth of experience, and I think that is only helping us as a team kind of move forwards, really.
Yeah, so you've got the final at Doncaster Ground on the Sunday the 26th of May. Tell me a bit about your preparations between now and then. So you've got a league game coming up as well, but what other things will you do in the build-up?
Yeah, so I think we've got about 3 games before that game. So for us as a team, it's about kind of working on our game plan, what we plan to do, and kind of all the little bits that kind of been our fall down in the recent games, kind of tighten them up and making sure that whatever challenge Arsenal throw at us, we can deal with. I said before, I think the first time in the final we kind of let the occasion beat us, whereas now we kind of have learned from that, and those that have been in the final are going to use the experience to help the younger players, and between now and then we kind of want to develop our game plan, what are we going to do, and just kind of get ourselves as best possibly physically prepared for that game.
Yeah, confident you can give them a good game then?
Yeah, I'm confident going in. So I think if we play as well as we know we can play, I think, we can get a victory, and we shouldn't go in thinking it's an FA Cup final when it's Arsenal. Yes, that should be in our mind, but go in treating it like any other game, and if we perform, I'm confident we'll win. Yeah,
but in Women's Super League, it's fairly early on in the season, the FA Cup final, and then will the aim after that be to get into the Champions League places for next season?
Yeah, obviously the FA Cup's on the 26th of May, which is kind of midway through the first half of our season, and we still have over half our season after that. So I think once you've completed that game, the next aim would be to finish top 2 in the league, and then obviously qualify for Europe, which we've done in 2011. I think as a club, we know that is a realistic target, and rather than, it's not an elusive dream anymore, it's something we can actually achieve. So